Okay, Jason Momo, jamming the fly. Gonna tie some of my darts. Little teeny streamers, and probably wouldn't go anywhere on a little trout creek or even a lot of bait fish like saltwater stuff when you're talking about very small anchovies. These flies are all ranged about anywhere from 1 or 3/4 of an inch actually to 1 1/4 inch. Very small flies, but something you should have with you all the time. You never know when you're going to have that small little bait that something's feeding on, and this will do the trick. 3 different styles I want to show you. I call it the JM Dart. Let me zoom in on this, and I'll show you the couple different deals that we have here. Okay. There we go. You can take a look at that guy right there. That's a weighted one. That has a split shot built into the head. Pretty simple tie. Every one of these guys I'm tying on a size 8 SC15 Gamakatsu. And I tie them that way because I use these things for snook over top of the snook lights. And, well, you know, when the little minis are there, and big old snook come up and just pound them. So use it for that. Use it for a lot of trout flies. That's my weighted one. Okay, here's like a medium weighted one, and this is pretty much just like, this is like a baby clouser is what that is right there. And that one has just a little bit of weight with a little dumbbell eyes. And of course you have the non-weighted dart. Okay, again, all of them tied on a size 8 SC15 Gamakatsu hook. Okay, and this one here, of course, has no weight in it. You can add a little flash, you can do whatever you want with these things, but let me just show you how to tie these patterns because it is very important. Okay, let me get the hooks here. Got them sitting right over here. There we go. SC15 Gamakatsu size 8. Pop one of them guys in. We'll do the non-weighted one's pretty simple. We don't even have to tie that one. So let me just tie the first thing. We'll tie the weighted one. Let me get some light on the situation. Get this in correctly, and I like to open that up a little bit. Them hooks are closed just a little bit farther than I like them. A regular 6/0 thread would be perfectly fine. Take a regular 6/0 thread, and again, we are going to get our line started there. We will come in, work our way to the front of the hook, and we're going to do all craft fur for this guy. So whatever colors you're using, I got this light pale green. That's another neat thing about this. Going to take your batch, your clump like this, and we're going to come back, we're going to pull out all the very long fibers. Okay? And I'm going to take them by the tip. I'm going to define the tip by cutting it and saying that that's my length. And then I want to tie these in so they face front. Okay? So if I want 1.5 inches, I'm going to just measure about 1.5 inches, lay that baby right in there. Come around, that's not quite enough material, so I take my same batch that I cut off and I grab the next layer, and again measuring, you already have it there, so you could just put it right up alongside and tie that in, matching the length. We could separate it. I actually have all this in the back here yet, which I think I'm just going to fan out and slowly tease out with my scissors like that, and I'm going to tie that front. Now that gives me a really nice batch, and everything in the back I'm just going to get rid of. And in fact, what I like to do on these flies, we'll come the whole way to the back, keep that tied in, and we'll give a little cut right here, and that gives us a little bit of flare, a little bit of extra added body thickness. Now I'm going to separate these two fibers out, and I'm going to come through, work this to the front, and I'm going to come through and tie this in two batches. So one there and one there. And basically what I'm trying to do is separate the two batches out so we have 90 degrees off both sides, just like that. Okay? And you can see that we have 90 degree this way, that way. Okay? Now we're going to take another color. Let me see what we got here. Let's go with a dark color. Something like this dark olive. I'm going to take a little cut of that. And same thing. Grab the tips, pull them out. Let's line that up. Identify it. You have to do that on the first piece to get your alignment. I want this to be about the same length as these pieces. So you just kind of measure that it's the same length, but you're going to tie this straight up the middle like this. Tie it in. You may want to fold it over like this, and that looks like it's going to work out pretty well. Let me tie it back a little bit, and then we'll come front, and I'm able to use that entire piece just by pulling that front and tying it in like that. So when it's all said and done, you're going to get a nice divided out section. Get that dark away from that light color there. There we go. Come back around here, we'll come through here, and we're just going to kind of divide that all out. You see what we got there? There's a couple dark pieces in there, but that's not going to be a big deal. When it's all said and done, no big deal when we fold that all back. Okay, again, coming right back behind this point, we are going to work that back to a tie-in point. And we're going to add in a piece of split shot. Anybody who's seen the way I work split shot, it's a #1 split shot. I'm going to put it on my oh, let me see if we got that. Yep. Drop that little guy. Anyway, you put it on your clip, and then you push it up against the counter, and you make a nice groove in it like that. You could open it up a little bit more with your fingers. Grab your, you grab a pliers to put it on, or you could just stick it up underneath like this. Crimp it together so it stays. Just like that. Grab yourself a pliers. Let me see where I got my pliers. I should have it here. It's supposed to be here. Oh, everything's all over the place. You know how it is in a fly tying room. We'll use these. The heck. All I'm doing is crimping it on there anyway. Push up. Crimp that baby on there. Okay, so now we got a split shot on there. All you gotta do is come through the crack of the split shot, just like that. Wrap around, come back through the crack of the split shot, up, through the crack of the split shot, up, and pretty much just tie that in. You could use Bondic at this point if you want to put it in, but you're going to be Bondicking the head anyway, so there's no sense in really doing that. I'm going to come through this little crevice, and I'm going to come through this crevice. And then I'm going to take the two sides, we're going to fold them back, fold the front, the dark color, right back over the top of all that, yet, pull all the fibers back, finish off behind the head, okay, grab the old whip finish, again, pull them back, right behind the eye, Nice whip finish. Whip finish that baby off. Just like that. Come in with our scissors. Get rid of this. Come in with our Bondic. Fold that out around the split shot. Okay. Now you only want to hit to the top of the split shot, down to the eye. That's it. And right around the tip of the head. That's it. And that's all the Bondic that you need to put on that. Okay? Work that right around. Go in front. Let's hit that with the light. Set that with the light. You'll see it will stay right in position for you. Cure it. If you wanted flash in there, you could have added a little bit of flash inside, whatever you want to do. But that's basically it. That's the weighted dart. That's my little dart. You don't go anywhere without these guys. There's always small bait around somewhere. And little baby minis, little baby minnow imitations like this are just key because they're everywhere. And they'll get you a lot. Sometimes it's the saving grace of your day. You would do the exact same thing as we just tied, except for don't put a split shot in for the non-weighted one. So there's plenty of ways to tie that in. I'm not going to tie that one because if you want to tie it not weighted, it's pretty simple. Just lash craft fur to the shank. I do the Clouser one here a little different, so I want to show you that. So I'm going to take my same hook, same thread. Again, always wrapping the shank the whole way. Come back front a little bit. Get the teeniest little barbell eyes you can find. And I don't even know what size these are. These are not even small as far as the small lead eyes. This is like extra small. Just find something that works for you and your hook. And again, all we're doing is trying to add a little bit of weight to this. We're not trying to kill it. Just show you how we, if we want, we'll add a little bit of flash in here. I'm going to add a little bit of flash to this. And here I'm just ripping off some fibers. Nothing has to be perfect. I'm going to tie them right in behind the eyes. And we're going to pull back and just keep, and I got a little piece of that fiber in there, and just tie that in. Let's get ourselves to a length that we're looking for, something like that, somewhere in the 1 inch, maybe 1.25 inch mark. I think I have this guy at until it's all said and done. Okay, run through that, shred that up a little bit. Yeah, I'd say we're about 1.25 inch, 1.5 inch minnow right here, which whatever, you could shorten it, you can make it whatever you'd like. Gonna go with craft fur first. So we go with craft fur. Oh, let's go with a cream, a lighter color, or a white. We'll go with white. How about white? Again, just taking a few fibers. Okay, so we got some white. Gonna take a nice little batch there, so we have a little bit of thickness. Set this to the side. I can make another one. And again, laying that baby right on top, determining the length. But of course, you can see there's some long fibers that are sticking out a little bit further, so we want to come down and make a distinct end. Once we have that length determined, I'm pretty happy with this. This looks like we're going to give us a nice little 1.25 inch minnow, and I like it. So I'm going to come around what would be the front of it, like that. And then I'm going to step behind and catch the back, bring this right up through my extra craft fur, bring it right up through, and I am going to cut this in just a little nips So it ends up a little bit frayed there at the back end. There, now you see that? That's the belly of the fly. Work our way front, tie that in. Now everything you see there is a belly because that thing rides upside down because of that little clouser lead eyes that we have in there. Now we are going to go to, and I don't like to use a craft fur here, and I don't like to use craft fur on the top for a couple of reasons. I don't want it wrapping and fouling around that hook. So craft fur, as far as I'm concerned, for these little darts is fine for the belly. But when we do the top, I like deer hair. I like clouser deer. I like deer hair, and I like it to be like the original clouser type of deal. So we're going to take a little bit of deer hair. Very few fibers. Very few fibers. You can see that. It's hardly anything. And we're going to measure it. I'm going to cut that. And this is kind of a light brown color. And I am going to put this in right along the side so it ends up on top. And I get to pull that back enough that it's not going to interfere. Up there, she pulled through a little bit too much. Try it again. Wrap over and pull that back. Oh, there it did it again. See, this is the trick. This is the neatest part about it. Get rid of this. Clean that off. Lay it in. Wrap around. Pull it. And tie in. And there we go. Now we got her without interfering with our eyes. Simply take your bodkin or a pin and separate half of the fibers to the other side of the hook. Something like that. Okay? You're not done yet. Not done yet. Here we have some real dark fibers in here yet, so I'm going to take a little, let's take a little snip of them guys. Okay? See how bunched they are together? We're going to pull some of them out. We're going to take a bunch of these little fine, darker fibers. Give this baby the layered effect. And the back flies, or the back portion of your deer hair, the backside, comes in real handy here. Makes it nice, full deer hair wings. Gonna reach in, cut that off, do exactly the same thing. We're gonna tie it in and just catch these fibers however we can, just like that. And again, just pull back and tighten as soon as they're past the eye, just like that. There, now we lost some of them. Don't worry about it. Again, tie back. Oh, broke our thread. Hey, this is great. This is everything that we didn't want to happen. But because we have enough wraps on there, we're not going to lose it. So let's not worry about it. Rethread this. Get in there. Pull the thread through. Suck it through. Okay. Right back over the top, because if we pull that one thread, we could go right over top. And tearing the thread is something that happens, even to guys who've been doing it forever. No big deal. Not a big deal at all. Throw all the loose fibers out. We're going to get rid of all the loose fibers. See that? Now look how nice that fly is. Okay? Got the dark and the light and everything. I guess you could see that. Let's zoom in on this thing and get this correct. There. Could you see that now? There we go. Apparently you weren't able to see very clear the whole video. Again, with your bodkin, reach in, pop some of them feathers off to the far side. Okay, so it's a nice centered, beautiful little tie. You're going to whip finish, come in, whip finish, and again, deer hair on the clouser because of going through the hook and riding upside down for the top. over top of the split shot, you could get away with all craft fur. But that's it. That's a JM darts. Remember, these darts, I call them darts because they're only little 1-inch bait fish imitations. And we do them, of course, in the, I guess we would call it medium weighted, no weighted, medium weighted, and heavily weighted. And depending on the water and where you want to get this thing, that's what you'll pick out of your box, which weight you want. Because they're completely different, it's going to be easy to pick them out. Again, you're not going to miss this guy with the heavy split shot in. You'll know that's your heaviest one. This one here with the lead eyes looks like a clouser. That's your medium weighted one. And of course, if you grab the one that has no split shot whatsoever, that's going to be your light weighted one. And that is the JM Dart. JM on the fly, and I am out of here.